Welcome to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Skull Merchant as always, but today's a special video because I have a new meta build for everyone. Today we're using Scorch Hook Pain Resonance for random hooks. Become Scorch Hooks whenever you hook a survivor for the first time on a Scorch Hook. The generator the most progress loses 29%. Pop goes the Weasel whenever you hook a survivor for the next 5 seconds. The next time you would kick a gen, it automatically loses 30% of its current progress, and the normal generator regression will apply afterwards. Then we have Nowhere to Hide. Whenever you kick a generator, you can see the aura of all survivors that are around you for 24 seconds, which means even if you're moving, you still see the aura. And then we have a really interesting perk that no one ever uses that's kind of good on Skull Merchant. Probably the best one I think she has, called Desolation. What's it called? Desolation. What this perk does is after you injure a survivor by any means, 3 seconds later, the perk activates. For the next 20 seconds, if a survivor would vault a pallet is already down, that pallet will automatically destroy. Then we have GFO readout so we can become faster. And then we have Brown Noise Generator to make them all oblivious, because we always gotta make them oblivious before we even use Skull Merchant. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how great this build is. I'm gonna explain my thought process as to why I think this build is actually really good on her. I've been using this build so much. Like, I've actually gotten over 12 wins in a row with this build because it's just that good. And you'll see why. And also the really cool feature of Desolation and Skull Merchant that no one ever probably even noticed because of the fact that no one uses Desolation and not a lot of people play Skull Merchant. So I will be showing y'all everything, but stay tuned and continue watching the video. I hope you enjoy. Raccoon City Police Station East Wing. I'm building a really good map for Skull Merchant, as you know, because if you look right now, we have 2 gens in the middle part of the building. And that means drone here and upstairs, drone there. I was gonna go get that invitation, but I chose not to because the fact it's kind of far away. But then I realized that all the survivors on this side, because they have to be, because we spawned over here. And loud noise notification right there, so I know survivors up there, so I'm gonna put a drone to protect the generator, and hopefully also to catch someone up there and make them oblivious. And also whenever we're in our drone radius, we do get a little speed buff. I'm gonna go over here, kind of realize that no survivors on that gen, that means they have to be on this one. And immediately we see 3 people on gens, 2 people on gens. I'm gonna put a drone up here, make them not want to go in it, and then we're going to chase them. But let me explain to you the godlikeness of this build. So sadly right there, one of our perks did not even activate as planned because of how it works. But anyway, we have Scorch Hook Pain Resonance. When we kick a gen, first let's talk about what's it called? This perk instead. We'll talk about Nowhere to Hide. Kick a gen, we see where the aura of the survivor is. We know she is oblivious and also exposed, but for some reason she knows where I am, so I cannot chase her. She's just running. I'm like, okay, I give up. So because of that reason, I am not gonna be able to down her. But let's talk about how Nowhere to Hide. First, you kick a generator, we can see the aura of every single survivor that's 20 meters near us, including once we walk away from the generator. Because of that reason, we can see where survivors are really easily. Which also pairs really well with the fact that we have Papa Goes the Weasel. Papa Goes the Weasel will automatically make it so that way we can regress a generator 30% once we kick a gen, and also when we hook someone, which also works well with the perk Scorch Hook Pain Resonance, because once we hook a survivor on Scorch Hook, that the generator with the most progress will lose 25%. Then we can go toward our generator and we can kick it with we can kick it, and then as a result it'll lose an additional 30%. So that's an insane amount of value, destroying basically one generator will lose 35% because of the fact that we just kicked it and the fact that we destroyed it. Not to mention also Nowhere to Hide activates, and then we have the ability to basically be like, oh, okay, now we can see where everyone is. And while I'm talking, I also grab this person off I grab Adam off the generator. Now I want over here. I'm not gonna chase the girl who I know is injured because of the fact that I want to mind game and want her to come back, but she chooses to not come back. And instead keeps running, so I'm going to chase her down because I want to get her out the game. But she's down there, and I realize that going down there is not going to be a good idea for me. But maybe I can activate my perk Desolation, but sadly she's already injured. And then of course the last perk we have is Desolation. Now, I believe actually in this game, you don't really see 100% the value of Desolation. But don't worry, I have many games where I use the same build and Desolation comes in clutch. Like I said before, what Desolation does, if you hit a survivor who's and they become injured by any means, not even if you hit a survivor, they become injured by any means actually, the perk activates. Then if a survivor were to vault a pallet that's already down, or pass vault a pallet while in your chair radius, then Desolation will automatically activate and break the pallet. Now, you're probably wondering, if someone has a skull trap on them, a claw trap on them, and Desolation activates, which one would trigger first? The claw trap or Desolation? Or neither? Which one triggers? The answer actually is the claw trap. Claw trap will trigger, breaking the pallet. Then Desolation will still be activated, so there are 2 down pallets. You can technically break 2 different pallets with Desolation and Claw Trap, and then Score Merchant basically wins every single chase because they can't use down pallets. You can literally hit someone and purposely keep a down pallet down, so that way Desolation will break it, and this is really, really good. Not to mention, a lot of survivors who are actually smart at the game will realize that they don't want to vault a pallet because of the fact that they know that they have a claw trap on them and the claw trap will break the pallet. Because of that reason, they're not going to vault the pallet. But they don't know you don't have Desolation. So as a result, you can use Desolation and then they vault the pallet and they're like, oh, the pallet broke. And you're like, they're like, hacks? No, actually, it's because you have Desolation. So as a result, I'm going to chase Adam now, who is now injured. I'm going to chase him. I'm hoping I can activate Desolation, but it's not going to work probably because it's god-like pallet. So I'm going to go over here, use my second energy to break it. Even though I could have used Desolation right there, but I chose not to because of the fact that I wanted to use my invitation to have it. But then this girl's like, I'm going to protect my teammate. And I'm like, ugh, disgusting. I imagine having teammates. Cannot be me. But this girl's going to do this nonsense. I'm going to be like, okay. And I'm going to not chase her because he stuns me. I'm going to go over here because I kind of want to kill Adam because Adam is on his second hook if I hit him. Also, they're healing right here, so I know I can have a chance to easily down them. Sadly, no one vaults the pallet, but it doesn't really matter because Adam is on his second hook. If I if I hook him. But they're trying to mind game me with this pallet, and they sadly do. But I need my second energy to break it again, and now I know he doesn't have balanced landing, so I'm going to hit him. And as long as there's no one in this locker, I can pick him up. So I try to lock it first, so I'm scared. And then I pick him up, because I want to make sure that I actually can pick him up safely. Now, it might seem like this game is kind of going badly right now, but that's because of the fact that I did top for like 3 minutes, so I can explain to you the thought process as to why the build is so good, before I decided to continue playing. Now, you know I didn't break that pallet, because I can save that pallet for later to make people think that it's actually safe, but in reality, it's not. So this girl vaults this window immediately. I don't know why he does that. I am going to break this pallet, use my second energy, and she's going to continue running. And I'm mad because of the fact that I don't have Desolation activated, so I can't just like let her vault it and then win. I don't kill the generator because I know they want to do the gen as fast as possible, but I'm not going to let them. Nowhere to hide is going to activate. I can see where everyone is. She's going to try and go back to the gym, but she's oblivious and doesn't know I'm coming, and now he's dead. This is why Nowhere to Hide is such a good perk on this character. Now you can, like I said before, I've used Nowhere to Hide and I use Thwack. You can change Thwack and Nowhere to Hide whenever you want. The only reason why I find Nowhere to Hide to be better than Thwack is because Thwack has a requirement where you have to hook someone, even though this build, a lot of my perks activate by someone being hooked anyway, so it's fine. But that's the first problem. Thwack, you have to hook someone to activate it. The second problem, the fact that Thwack makes them scream. I think that's actually a downside. Now, screaming does interrupt actions, which is really good. But the problem is when they scream, that's the meaning of the killer, and the survivors know that they know where you are. That makes any sense. So if the survivor was to scream, they know the killer knows that they are somewhere. As a result, they are going to, run away immediately. Meanwhile, Nowhere to Hide just shows their aura. It doesn't make them scream. As a result, they don't know that I have it. Now notice how right here he vaults his pallet and Desolation doesn't activate. You're probably wondering why. That's because, like I said before, Desolation activates when a survivor is vault the pallet in your terror radius. When you're inside your drone radius, you have no terror radius because you're untouchable. Which might sound like a bad thing. Why would you use Desolation if you know it's not gonna work? We'll still burn sometimes. But no, it's actually an amazing thing. And you'll be like, huh? I tried to swing right there because I thought I could hit him before he fell up high, by the way, but I was wrong. Now, the reason why it's so good is because basically, Skull Merchant now has the ability, same thing with kill like Ghostface, everything, things like that. They have the ability to make Desolation activate when they want to, because basically I can put down my drone, become oblivious, and because I'm oblivious, I do not have to deal with what's it called? Become oblivious. There's no longer going to be the pallet won't break. But if I'm not oblivious, the pallet will break. So because of that reason, if I'm not untouchable, the pallet will break. So as a result, I can do as I please, basically, with my with that desolation, which is really good. Now I believe this is Adam's last hook, by the way, because he needs to get out the game, being annoying. And I'm almost certain that he has made for this because of how fast he was moving, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna say that. But I'm gonna put him on this hook because he needs to get out the game. And notice how even though we've been chasing all these people like this, and it feels like we have been protecting gens, the generators have not been going that fast, and that's because this build focuses more on, well, I lied. 2 of my perks are literally just regress generator perks. But they're really good at regressing generators because of the fact that there's a thing they do where basically they're like, okay, I'm going to regress this generator, but I'm also going to make it so that way you don't have to go towards the gen to regress it, unless I want to kick it with, of course, Papa Goes the Weasel, which I do a lot of the time want to do that. But as a result, we can basically chase people and not have to worry about gens because of the fact that they're not going to do gens if they either have a drone on them, or they do a gen and there is no drone on it, or they get rid of the drone. Then it doesn't really matter though, because of the fact that I'll just use the what's it called? I'll just use Score Trigger Pain Resonance to automatically lower the regression, and I'll use Pop Goes the Weasel, and we still have 3 more Score Trigger Pain Resonance. So because of that reason, I'm not really worried. He falls, but he doesn't have balance landing, so he's gonna have that recovery on the ground. When he falls. I just got rid of pallet because I realized that no one wants to vault it, so I might as well break it. I'm going to set up my drones. We have a really good gen setup. There is almost no way they're going to win, honestly. We have this guy on the hook, and there's 4 gens, and we have 4 drones, and there's just no way. As a result, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this game. But I really want to show y'all Desolation in action, because I believe in this game I don't actually get it to work. Or if I do get it to work, it works once. But it's the fact that like it's really been saving me a lot in these chases, like really strong loops, and I don't break the pallet because I don't want to. I want them to vault it, and they vault it, and it breaks, and they're like, oh, and then you down them, they're like, oh, that's odd. It's just a really fun experience sometimes. Love the pallet right here that I didn't break. But this girl does not have a cloud trap on her, so sadly I don't have the ability to break it. I use my power to break it, but instead I just use the endure one, so now I can endure a stun if needed. Now it does last for a long time actually, so like I think 8 seconds. So because of that reason, it's pretty good. But she's gonna drop this pallet. I'm going to try and mind game it, even though I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But for some reason, she slow vaults the pallet, so as a result, I'm able to catch her. Now right here, this pallet is, I believe, down. She's not gonna vault it though, because of the fact that she just realized that I might break it with my psychic energy. So instead, she's gonna run towards the pallet, but she's not gonna make it in time. So I'm gonna swing and down her. Now, of course, I could have just mind gamed this, and then it would have broke with Desolation, but I chose not to do it because of the fact that I don't need to do it. I can just swing. Also, sometimes it's important to not let them know you have Desolation, even though most of the time when you have Desolation and it works, they still won't vault the pallet because they don't really have any other options. They kind of have to do it. So someone's gonna automatically get rid of my not automatically. Someone's gonna get rid of my drone. I noticed the second I'm able to activate it, it starts shaking, which means someone's on it. And he's probably on this gen right as we speak, but he must have ran knowing that I was going to kill him because he's actually not oblivious. He did the drone was already deactivated before he got rid of it. So as a result, he was not oblivious, sadly. But it doesn't really matter because he's right here. I'm going to hit him. Don't even know where he went, honestly. I think I scared him. And then he's like, because you know, whenever you're playing Skull Merchant, I always have that one person who's like, I don't feel like playing anymore, so I'm gonna be boring. Oh my god, top tier killer. Even though literally she isn't even that good, or she's that bad. Like, she's not even like godlike. She just has some good qualities, and that's it. But they're like, oh, I lost one player, I give up. And then he decides to just kill himself on the hook. And now their team, there's no way they can win now because of the fact that they lost 2 people, even though one of them was even doing that badly. So I don't know why he did that, but whatever. I'm so used to it now at this point that I don't even care anymore. Even though it's gonna happen in future videos. I have a few videos actually where survivors do give up again. But oh well, not my problem. They wanna not play the game anymore, they can play something else. Not my fault. I tried. So I realized I'm gonna get into a chase, but I don't see anyone, so I'm a little confused. Then I realized she's right there because nowhere to hide. So I'm going to chase her. She is gonna run into me for some reason. I don't know why she did that, but whatever. So I'm gonna chase her. Desolation not activated, but I believe the pallets are already broken, so there's no point in even trying to chase her. And she's gonna vault the window, so because of that reason, there's not another point in not chasing her. She doesn't even go to the right where the pallet is. Instead, she goes down over here. And I miss my swing because I'm trash at the game, you know, the usual. But then she go over here where there's no pallet because of the fact that I believe Adam already threw this down, I believe, and I broke it. No lie, this is the pallet. Someone must have thrown this down earlier because I remember we had a loud noise notification at the beginning of the game. So when I hook her with her second hook, I'm almost certain she's gonna kill herself on the hook because of the fact that all everyone does when they play against my score merchant is dive. It seems like they don't know how to play. They're just like, oh, I guess I'll just dive on the hook. Well, let's see for sure. I'm almost certain she's going to because most of the time they do it. But, oh, she gets saved. A survivor actually playing against score merchant and not killing themselves on the hook? Wow. Literally impossible. But I'm not making you jokes, but it's just like every video so far it's just been like, oh, I give up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun. Okay. I guess that's fun to deal with. You complain about the killer, but you also don't want to fight the killer. Like, explain the logic. Like, okay, he's making it harder for your teammates. I did see a few videos actually and a few comments. People were saying score merchant is annoying to play against, but it's mainly not only because of score merchant, but it's also because if you have a coordinated team, it's actually not that bad. But when you always have that one, two, or three survivors that just don't know how to fight against score merchant or make it worse for everyone else, or they give up and then that's when you really lose. It is also really hard to be a score merchant, I will say though. Once you lose one person, it's extremely hard to come back from that. It is possible, but it's extremely hard. So Desolation's gonna activate, and they have a claw trap on them, so I know they bought a pallet, it will break automatically. She's gonna go to the right, and this pallet is down. It's gonna break thanks to my claw trap. And notice how Desolation's timer is still active, by the way. That's what I mean when I say the Desolation and claw trap stack, which is really, really good for score merchant. And that's the reason why I think. That's not the reason why I think, but that's one of the reasons why Desolation is such a good perk. You just win in chase now against people who think they're safe with these pallets. The only real problem with this idea is the fact that they have live, then the pallet kind of just says, haha, no. And they still are able to vault it. Now, they make a perk in the game that says when you vault a pallet, you can make exhaust automatically, and then you can't fast vault for the next 4 seconds. That's fine. And by fine I mean weird, but I feel like that'd be kind of a cool perk, actually. Yeah, it'd be kind of a cool perk idea. But whenever a survivor vaults a window or vaults a pallet, they become exhausted for the next 5 seconds. And the next time they will vault a window or pallet, the next time they vault a window, it's a slow vault. That'd be kind of a cool idea for a perk. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard, but I don't know. That's a cool idea in my opinion. So she dies on the hook and she's like, I give up. Score merchant, I'll rescue my teammate, but when I'm on the hook, I'm out. I'm like, okay, that's fair. So now I'm trying to find the hatch, but there's no way I'm gonna find it because my hatch luck is trash. So because of that reason, I'm almost certain this game is over. So I'm gonna keep the gym to get more points, because why not, in the generator category. But I found the hatch, and I'm like, oh, my luck is not trash. So I'm gonna find the hatch, but it doesn't really matter, because now I realize there's 2 exit gates, and I have to pray she's not already at one of them. But I'm gonna put a drone on this one, because I'm already close to it. And then as a result, I'm going to go towards the other one, if I can, and see if I can get her. But she immediately escapes, because she was like, I don't care about the hatch, I'm going towards the exit gate. But that was the video using the new build that I just made with Score Merchant. If you like the build, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you like my videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like Score Merchant, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't like Score Merchant, oh well, like, comment, and subscribe. But Desolation is a really good perk, by the way. This build is just so well balanced for every single thing. That's why I love it so much. But like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.